Alrighty, welcome back everyone, it's Garlaanx here bringing you a new Diablo video, and as the title suggests, we're going to be talking about the Midwinter Blight, which is the very first holiday event in Diablo 4. So it's aka the Christmas event. Now, it is only on the seasonal realm. Hopefully they remedy that situation. I don't know why they didn't put it on the eternal realm, but as of filming this video, it's only on the seasonal realm. So if you don't play seasons, unfortunately you can't really take advantage of this. So if we open our map here, it's going to be highlighted in this shade of purple essentially. So it kind of looks like a Helltide or a Blood Harvest. And they skinned it in a purple color. So it's the whole Fractured Peaks area. So if you hover over it, the Midwinter Blight ends in 19 days and 6 hours. So you still have a great deal of time to farm the event. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the shop, what you have to do, etc. Alrighty guys, so we are in Kivashad again, the Midwinter Blight here. So it says speak with Gillian the Bard. So you'll navigate over here. Go ahead and talk to him. There'll be a little cutscene there. Skip that. And then let's go ahead and open up the shop. So there'll be a little tutorial, tell you what to do, etc. So it's basically all cosmetic items. There are a few other items of note. But yeah, they're basically back items. So every class has its own back item. You can see that it costs 50 of this currency. We'll go over the currency next. So every class essentially has its own back item. There is also a mount trophy, and then there's several cosmetic weapons. So we have the tomahawk, which is an axe. We have the dagger, the totem, focus, shield, sword, and crossbow and staff. Then we move on to the aspect, which is going to cost you 10 of the currency. After 30 seconds of Knight's Grasp, gain Dawn's Haste, increasing your attack speed by 25 to 35%. Movement speed by 20%, 12 seconds. While empowered by the Midwinter Ward, killing an enemy reduces Knight's Grasp duration by 1 second. So it's actually a decent aspect for certain classes. I heard it was bugged on the Barbarian. So hopefully they get that all situated. Now, you will be able to farm as many of these as you want, and apparently you'll still be able to use them even after the holiday event has concluded. So whether or not these like transfer over with you to like the Eternal Realm, like you'll be able to farm a bunch of these, and then maybe take them over to the Eternal Realm and, you know, put them on different characters if you so choose. I mean, looking at this, it's a decent aspect if you don't have other maxed out aspects, but like for me in my specific build that I'm running right now on the Sorcerer on Ball Lightning, I just don't have an aspect slot to even put this on. It does have a cooldown, obviously, so you have to wait 30 seconds before that 25 to 35% buff kicks in for attack speed. So it is what it is. I'll farm a couple of them just to have, because we might, you know, never see this aspect ever again. Midwinter Spoils, I'd kind of stay away from. It costs 8 of the currency. And it just basically gives you random armor, gem fragments, and a potential dose of the elixir. So this is not really worth it. I wouldn't be wasting currency on this. So Gillian's Brew is going to be what you basically farm and stack a bunch of these. Again, assuming we're able to take these over to the Eternal Realm, we'll have to wait and see. But basically it's increased maximum life and lucky hit by 15%. And also experience gained by 15%, and it actually lasts 45 minutes. So for power leveling alts, etc., yeah, I mean, that's really good. Not only are you going to gain the HP and the lucky hit 15%, but 15% increased experience gain stacked on all the other experience gain we have. Yeah, you're definitely going to want to stockpile a bunch of these, just because this is, again, one of those elixirs. Maybe we never see this again in the game, so as many as you have, once the stock dries out, there it is. I mean, I can see people paying top dollar for these. 6 months down the road, you know, when we're into like summer of 2024, and people were probably in season 4 at that time, and you know, there's just going to be different events, and we may never see something like this again. So, farming on the Eternal Realm, you know, it's up to you guys what you want to do with your currency. Finally, we have the Midwinter Purse, and essentially this is 1 currency each. It's about 1 million gold. So after you get everything you want, you can just essentially get gold. Gold's easy to get, but it is what it is. So, yeah, these are pretty expensive. The back items do cost 50. The Mount Trophy, I believe, is 30. The cosmetic weapons are 20. The aspect is 10. And then again, the brew is 1. So it's a significant amount of farming. You essentially need somewhere over the amount of 440 total proofs. So this currency can be found right here. It's the Midwinter Proofs is what you're going to be after in farming. You need like 440, 500, give or take, to get everything out of the event. So rough estimates of this take probably, if you're hardcore farming, anywhere from 10 to 12 hours. And the event's not that great. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. I mean, there's not a lot of content. You're essentially just grinding. It's 10 hours, 12 hours of grinding currency. It's nothing very intuitive. There's no special mechanics. There is one boss during the event. But other than that, yeah, it's not that great. It's just basically grinding. So take that with a grain of salt. It is the first ever holiday event for Diablo 4. Hopefully they can improve on these events, maybe get more player interaction, you know, different mechanics, whatever the case may be. So essentially, yes, you're going to be running over the entire Fracture Peaks and farming this area for the currency. Now, we are in the little square here. You can update this, and it will give you a buff as well at tier 3. Let's go over that now. So if we come over here to the collection table, this is where you're going to make your exchanges. So again, we have the Midwinter Proofs, which can be found right here. And again, right here, currently I have 0, obviously. And then if you look under your materials, this is where you're going to see exactly how many you have. So you can see I have 8,800 of the fragments. These fragments drop basically off every mob in Fractured Peak, as long as they're like glowing bluish. The Lost Heirlooms come from Frigid Husks, which can be found around the map. And then finally, the Red Cloaked Trophy. This actually drops from the boss. He's fairly easy to find. You basically just run around and do several events until you can pop it. And then you'll see which one it is. I think it's called Revelry or something of the such. So back to the exchange. So here is the exchange values. If we look at this, it's 300 to 1. So it's going to take you 300 of the Blighted Fragments to get 1 Midwinter Proof. So let's just say essentially 20 Midwinter Proofs is 6,000 fragments. So we'll look at this down here for the Tribute tier. This goes to tier 3 essentially. And you're going to level this up by turning in all of this currency. So tier 1 you get gold in a spoil bag, and then tier 2 more gold, spoil bag, tier 3 more gold, spoil bag. These are kind of very subpar. These should have been like 10 times the amount of gold. Like, this is kind of poo-poo caca. Gold is very easy to get. I would have liked to seen even more cosmetics in here. Put cosmetics that you can only get from the tribute by leveling it up. So this was a missed opportunity on Blizzard's part. This is kind of very subpar. So by turning this stuff in, again, you're going to level up the tribute. So the Lost Heirlooms, well, actually, let's just go ahead and turn this in. So we're going to turn in 20. Obviously, I have enough for 29, but just to get the values here. So 20 of this is 6,000. We'll go ahead and craft that. And that literally just leveled up my town square. I'm assuming we're calling this the town square. Quest complete. So I believe I'm probably tier 2, I would assume. Let's look. Yeah, so we're tier 2, almost tier 3 already. Like, it does not take a lot of effort to boost this. So again, this second one here for the Lost Heirloom is 30 to 1, so I can actually get another 20. Craft that. And there goes my town square. So now my town square is essentially maxed out, and it now turns into the Midwinter Ward. Now that's important. This gives you a buff if you're using that aspect. So let's go over here, see what he has to say. Blah, blah, blah. Another cutscene. And another cutscene. Oh, he's playing us music. Okay, we will literally skip that. Alrighty. So now, and another important thing to note is you can now earn Midwinter Nightmare Cash, containing assorted of event materials by completing Nightmare Dungeons. So you can essentially farm the caches literally just by doing Nightmare Dungeons. So if you're still leveling up glyphs. So now we have the Midwinter Ward. Stands ready to empower your battle against the Red Cloaked Horde and its Blight Fiends. Continue earning the proofs to purchase all the exciting limited time rewards. So blah blah blah. So now this gives us a buff here. Let this quest complete. So if we open the shop really quickly, and you look at that aspect, it says, while empowered by the Midwinter Ward, killing an enemy reduces Knight's Grasp's duration by 1 second. So the Knight's Grasp has a 30-second cooldown, right? So by keep killing enemies, you can just basically deplete that cooldown. So if we go ahead and click this, there we go. Now we have the buff, and it's right here. Your attacks devastate Blight Fiends and the Red Cloaked Horde, dealing 20% additional damage. Not sure how long this lasts for. I think it's actually a permanent buff as long as you stay in the zone. So continuing on now, and then we'll just turn in the last of our things here. So this again is a 1-to-1 ratio. I have 13 of them. We'll turn in another 10. Crafted that. Now you can see I'm up to 50 Midwinter proofs. We'll go ahead and snag these, just so I could show you guys for the video. But you can see that we're at 50 proofs. So that essentially gave us enough for one back item. So let's go ahead out into the world, and I'll just show you guys really quickly what the event looks like. Alright guys, and here we are out in the map. So here's one of the frozen husks I was talking about. If you go ahead and kill this, and then it will drop those heirlooms as well as loot. So you want to make sure you're killing that stuff. So unfortunately there's no event up here. I was hoping there would be. Let's just run down to see if the other one's up really quickly. Ooh, I'm lagging a little bit. Good gracious. So this event is up, but it's not the one we're looking for. Looks like these guys are killing everything, so we'll just kind of leech off of it. But you want to ping pong around, do the events. Essentially, you're just going to run in circles over and over and over again. And that way you can maximize your potential of farming, essentially. Killing the mobs versus doing the events, it's all going to equate the same. Just run to event to event to event. Kill everything, and you'll be good. As you can see, this event's just dropping stuff left and right. So, you know, grinding it out in your free time to get what you want to get from the shop, that's completely up to you. If you want to get everything and you want to put the time in, that's up to you guys. I really only play the Necromancer and the Sorcerer for the most part, so I have no interest of getting the other back items personally. Maybe I regret that down the road because, like I said, we'll probably never see these items ever again. So it is what it is. But me personally, that's my plans at least. I'm not going to grind this for 12 hours or more just for some minor cosmetic items. Now, we're going to run over here and see if the big event's up here, see if we get lucky. We did not get lucky, so it's not up. So by killing the boss, essentially, there is a title for the very first time you kill it. And you're going to get the Frigid Reveler as your player title for the first time killing the boss during the holiday event. So if you want to at least do that, it's not hard. Just keep going to event to event to event until you find the correct one. and then it's very easy to do. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. Just a nice little video on the Midwinter Blight. Again, that is going to be the first ever holiday event for Diablo 4. It is the Christmas event. So an event did spawn on us. Unfortunately, it was not the right one. So that's all I got for you guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and leave them below. And I'll see you guys real soon.